वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुनतीरावनचारिण यमुनतीरावनचारि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमाय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto chapter 12 Rahuguna converses with Jadabharata. Text number 11. ज्ञानं विशुद्धं परमार्थमेकम् अनन्तरं त्वबभिर्ब्रह्म सत्यम् प्रत्यक् प्रशान्तं भगवच्छब्द संज्ञम् यद्वासुदेवं कवयो वदन्ति ज्ञानं विशुद्धं परमार्थमेकम् अनन्तरं त्वदद्भिर्ब्रह्म सत्यम् प्रत्यक् प्रशान्तं भगवच्छब्द संज्ञम् यद्वासुदेवं कवयो वदन्ति ज्ञानं विशुद्धं परमार्थमेकम् अनन्तरं त्वभिर्ब्रह्म सत्यम् प्रत्यक् प्रशान्तं भगवच्छब्दशक्यम् यद्वासुदेवं कवयो वदन्ति Mata is word meaning. Jnanam, the supreme knowledge. Vishuddham, without contamination. Paramartham, giving the ultimate goal of life. Ekam, unified. Antaram, anantaram, without interior. Broken, unbroken. Tu, also. Ababhi, without exterior. Brahma, the supreme. Satyam, absolute truth. Pratyak, inner. Prashantam, the calm and peaceful Supreme Lord, worshipped by the yogis. Bhagavat Sabda Samyam, known in the higher sense as Bhagavan, are full of opulences. Yet that Vasudevam, Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, Kavayaha, the learned scholars, Vadanti, say. Translation purport by His Divine Grace S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. What then is the ultimate truth? The answer is that the non-dual knowledge is the ultimate truth. It is devoid of the contamination of material qualities. It gives us liberation. It is one without a second, all pervading and beyond imagination. The first realization of the knowledge is Brahman, then Paramatma, the super soul, is realized by the yogis who try to see him without grievances. This is the second stage of realization. Finally, full realization of the same supreme knowledge is realized in the Supreme Person. All learned scholars describe this same person as the Vasudev, the cause of Brahman, Paramatma, and others. Purport. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Yad Advaitam Brahmanopanishadi Tad Api Asya Tanubha. The impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Absolute Truth consists of the bodily rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ya Antaryami Purusha iti so Samya Vaibhavaha. What is known as the Atma and the Antaryami, the Super Soul, is but an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shadaishwarya Puryo Yahya Bhagavan Saswayam Ayam. What is described as Supreme Personality of Godhead, complete with all six opulences, is Vasudeva, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non different from him. Great learned scholars and philosophers accept this after many births. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. The wise man can understand that the ultimately Vasudeva, Krishna, is the cause of Brahman, Paramatma, the Super Soul. Thus, Vasudeva is Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The real Tattva, absolute truth, is Bhagavan, but due to incomplete realization of the absolute truth, people sometimes describe the same Vishnu as impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma. Vadanti tattvavidhastatvam yajnanam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. From the very beginning, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Satyam Param Dhimahi. We meditate on the Supreme Truth. The Supreme Truth is explained here as Jnanam Vishuddham Satyam. The Absolute Truth is devoid of material contamination. and is transcendental to the material qualities. It gives spiritual success and liberation from the material world. That supreme absolute truth is Krishna Vasudeva. There is no difference between Krishna's inner self and outward body. Krishna is Purna, the complete whole. There is no distinction between his body and soul as there is between ours. Sometimes so called scholars, not knowing the constitutional position of Krishna, mislead people by saying that Krishna within is different from the Krishna without. When Krishna says, Man manabha madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru, so called scholars advise the reader that there is not the person Krishna to whom we must surrender, but Krishna within. The so called scholars, Mayavadis, cannot understand Krishna with their poor fund of knowledge. One should therefore approach an authorized person to understand Krishna, the spiritual master. The spiritual master has actually seen Krishna. Therefore, he can explain him properly. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Without approaching an authorized person, one cannot understand Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन कौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Seeking blessings from all the assembled devotees so that I can repeat whatever I heard from my superiors as a service to all the Vaishnavas for the glorification of Lord and for my own purification. So here, after explaining so much to Rahuguna by Jadabharata, now he is explaining ultimately what is the ultimate truth. So we hear this famous pastime that once Prabhupada is with some of the big scholars and he happened to ask actually, can you please tell what is the ultimate truth? Something similar. Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So they told Swamiji it is very difficult to explain these things, no? Right. And then Prabhupada called one Gurukul boy and no, and Prabhupada has a one jar full of rasgullas, and he kept his hand on that. And Prabhupada asked that boy, who is the supreme personality of Godhead? He's seeing Prabhupada, he's seeing the dabba, and below that, no, that gulab jams are there. And immediately he told, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada opened that jar and gave one rasgulla, and dancing, and he went. See, he told, that small boy knows, what is the ultimate truth. You read all the Shastras, but you don't know. So, in one sense, it is very difficult, but Prabhupada made it so easy. In one sense, it's not so easy to know what is the ultimate truth. That's why many people got confused between understanding the supreme absolute truth. Prabhupada is referring one person here, one Mayavadi, who is saying that this Manmana Bhava Madbhakta verse, you should not surrender to Krishna, you should surrender to somebody who is within Krishna, So he doesn't know that there is nothing within and without. Krishna is absolute truth. Absolute means there is no difference between in and out. It is same. Because we are not absolute, there is a difference between in and out. So actually, this person happened to be Vice Chancellor of Andhra University, in which I happen to study also. So afterwards, actually, recently I was reading Prabhupada Rilamrita. In that, it happened that when Prabhupada went to Chennai, he was there, and he was in the last stage of life, bedridden and everything. Prabhupada goes and meets him also. This personality. So even though Prabhupada, criticized him in some of the places, but as a Vaishnava, very compassionate. Actually, he personally went and I met him during his last stage. And here Prabhupada is writing that actually, unless you meet a bona fide spiritual master who is the Tattvadarshi, by his mercy only we can able to see Krishna. Why? Because the spiritual master has actually seen Krishna, therefore he can explain him properly. One who has seen Krishna, he can show you Krishna. So that one of the incident in the life of Prabhupada, we heard recently that Prabhupada's first disciple in India is Acharya Prabhakar. He is a Sanskrit scholar, and in Jhansi, Prabhupada used to, along with his help, he used to preach. So one day, that is the day of Janmashtami, that Acharya Prabhakar happened to go to Delhi and came back late in the night. And Prabhupada is alone in the hall, and he is playing Budanga, and he is in great ecstasy. He is, walking to and fro, and he is singing Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada having so much tears in his eyes that and Prabhupada is wearing a garland of Kadamba flowers. That is very fragrant, and that is so fragrant that that room is filled with that fragrance of Kadamba flowers. And Acharya Prabhakar asks actually, why you are so looking so happy? Who gave this garland to you? Because this is not the season. That Janmashtami time, it is not the season of Kadamba flowers. But Prabhupada doesn't speak anything. He is so much oblivious to the surroundings. And he doesn't speak anything. Then he goes away. And the next day again he comes and asks actually, yesterday you are looking so happy. You are wearing this garland. Who gave this garland to you? Then he says actually, I was singing, and suddenly I felt some great ecstasy and love for Krishna, and Krishna came here, and he gave this garland to me. And when I went to touch his feet, he immediately disappeared. And it said that size of the kadamba flowers is so big, which is not usually find anywhere. So Acharya Prabhakar says, actually, I have no doubt about it. Actually, he has had the darshan of Krishna. So Prabhupada never spoke actually that, out of his humility, never mentioned that actually I have seen Krishna or something like that. So that's what actually we can see. Actually, one who has seen Krishna, he can awaken Krishna consciousness in others also. And the other instance also, we know that during the Jaladuta also, um, Prabhupada had two consecutive heart attacks, and he prayed to Krishna, I don't mind to die, but actually I have only that regret that I'm not able to serve my spiritual master. Then Krishna gives darshan along with all the avatars, and Prabhupada had darshan of Krishna along with whole Guru Parampara is there, and they say that we are there. Don't worry, you go ahead. So there are several instances are there actually that Prabhupada, and there is one more instance that actually Prabhupada is deeply, in meditation, and disciples asked actually, Prabhupada, what are you thinking? Prabhupada told, I am thinking today what Yashoda Mai packed Krishna in his lunchbox. you know. So these are the persons who has seen the Paramasatya, and they named it as the Paramasatya is none other than Krishna. Is a person. That's what Bhagavatam also starts with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I meditate on the Supreme Absolute Truth. Who is that? Vasudev. That's what it is beginning of the Bhagavatam. And not only Vaishnavas actually, sometimes Krishna is merciful to Mayavadis also. And there is a story of a great Mayavadi philosopher. His name is Madhusudana Saraswati. And he's such a great Mayavadi that he always gives lectures that supreme truth has no eyes, no hands, no legs, something like that. In very great word jugglery, he speaks, and thousands of people attend his discourses. And he has so many subscribers, followers, likes. Many are there, and he is so much famous, and everybody glorify. Oh, wow, what a wonderful way explained about the absolute truth. So one day he happened to come to Vrindavan, and Krishna gave his darshan to him. And his completely his head start reeling, and his whole conceptions got changed within moment. And then he recited one verse about what is absolute truth. And he said, Vamsi Vibhushitakara Niradhavat Pitambara Arunabimba Faladharostra Purnendu Sundaramukha Naravinda Netra. What is that next? Last line. Krishna Paramapi Tattvamaham Najani. He is telling, I don't know any other truth other than Krishna. And he is describing what is the absolute truth in this way. Actually, what we say, Vamsi Vibhushitakara, whose hands are adorned with the flute. And Niradavat, his form is the newly formed cloud. Pitambara, he is wearing the Pitambara. Arunabimba Faladharostra. His lips are like a shining sun, newly rising sun. And Arunabimba, that we sing in the Damodarashtakam, right? Muhoschumbitam bimba raktadaram me manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai. Same thing what Satyavrata Muni is telling. The same thing he is also telling actually. And Purnendra Sundaramukha Aravinda Netra, and his face is like a full moon, and Aravinda Netra, his eyes are like a lotus petals. And he is telling that Other than this, I don't know anything absolute truth. What is more than this, I can't explain actually. That's what he gave the definition of what is Paramasatya. And the news became viral, and they concluded that this famous Mayavadi fell down. मायावादी का fall down हो गया अभी, so in that way it is the Paramasatya actually is very very simply explained actually as a person actually. But sometimes people get stuck up at different phases of absolute truth is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. These are the different phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, we say a building is there, we complete in different phases, right? Still it can be called a building, but it is not a complete building. So in that way, if you understand absolute truth in different phases, the first phase of understanding absolute truth is Brahman, and the second phase of understanding absolute truth is Paramatma, and the full phase, third phase is Bhagavan. And one devotee is sharing very interesting example. It is told if you are entering into a kitchen where gulab jams are made, and as soon as you enter into a kitchen, you get a fragrance that is spread entire kitchen, and the fragrance makes us somewhat happy because that is very nice fragrance, made gulab jam. But when you go very close, you will happen to see gulab jamun, right? That is fried in that sugar syrup. It is in golden color and very shining. That you will get more attracted to that. When you actually eat it, then you have complete understanding about offered and ate. Then you get the complete understanding about the gulab jamun. So before also they know something about gulab jamun by smell and by form, but they didn't know the complete understanding about the gulab jamun. So similarly, understanding about Krishna is the complete understanding. Bhagavan realization is complete. And before that, it is incomplete realization. So, incomplete realization of absolute truth create a sort of incompleteness within us also. In the Isopanishad, Prabhupada writes, all sorts of incompleteness felt is due to incomplete knowledge about the complete whole. So it is like a kind of incompleteness. No, Brahman realization is incomplete realization. It is like you are very hungry, you are fed only little bit. So our hunger remains. You are fed half, still our hunger remains because we are not completely fed. Right? Similarly, Jiva realized absolute truth only till the level of Brahman. So it is not complete. Still some hankering is there. So Paramatma realization, still it is incomplete. It is still some hankering is there. Only when Bhagavan realization happened, then only it is complete. Till that search continues, our mind wandering goes on because mind is not completely satisfied. It didn't found ultimate goal. Till the ultimate goal is reached, still that mind wandering and mind hankering continues because there is something is still stomach is not full. So in that way, if you see in our life also, if you play a chess game also, chess game continues till the checkmate happens. Till the king is checkmate, till that game continues. Till that time, your game will go on. Similarly, till you find absolute truth Krishna, till that our game goes on in this world. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shainam, iha samsare bahudustare, krupaya pare pahi murare. So in that way, actually, people are stuck up at different phases of life, and so once in one of the conversation, actually, in the beginning, when Prabhupada was preaching in the West, so one of the newly attending devotee, he comes to Prabhupada and he says that, Swamiji, I happen to read in Bible that actually, once you see God, you will not able to see anything else. What does it mean? Then Prabhupada asked, it is in your Bible, you should be able to know. Right? He told, actually, I didn't understand. Then Prabhupada says, actually, what is the actual meaning of it actually? It is that once you see the absolute truth, everything looks pale, dull. Actually, you will not get attracted to anything in this world. So that is symptom that I have seen that Krishna. You will be only looking for Krishna only. Once you have seen Krishna rarely, that nothing in this world will attract you. So that's what we can see. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj happened to see Krishna in the womb. As soon as he came out, he was looking for only Krishna. He is looking around and everywhere and he is seeing, is this Krishna which I have seen? You know. So this is a symptom that actually somebody has seen Krishna. That nothing in this world, makes any sense for him once he has seen Krishna. So that's what you become blind. Means you become blind to everything else in this world. Only Krishna is one, because you have seen the highest thing. After that, nothing is makes any sense. That's what we see in the Dhruva Maharaj case also. As soon as he got the darshana of Vishnu, then he said, actually, Ray, what I am hankering is only for is a broken pieces of glass. Now I got Apidivya Ratnam. I got the most precious jewel. So everything looks very pale. He was hankering for a kingdom, not like only for his father, even greater than the Brahma also. So, but that also felt very, very insignificant as soon as he has seen Krishna. So, in this way, actually, this is the highest truth, supreme truth. So, Prabhupada had written one article actually that, generally people say, Sachai bahut kadwa hota hai, right? Truth is very bitter. No, Prabhupada said, truth is very sweet. Because so many people in search of truth, actually, they left everything of this world. They sacrificed everything of this world. That means truth is very, very beautiful actually. Truth and beauty coexist. Sometimes, many times we say truth is very, very harsh, bitter. No, actually, Prabhupada says truth is very, very sweet. So, that's what actually the truth can be revealed by the person, but we cannot see the truth by ourselves. That the same thing we can see in the case of story of Ramanujacharya, and he had a disciple called Dhanurdas. So before he met Ramanujacharya, he was after a Rajanartaki. She is a Hemamba. So he got so much attracted towards her, and there is a big procession is happening in the Ranganath temple, and he is seeing her, left everything. All people are mocking at him and ridiculing him, but he never felt any much. So he is only concerned about being happy seeing her. And Ramanuja felt compassion upon him, and he sent some people, you call that fellow here. He's so shameless actually. And when Ramanuja asks, what are you doing here? And everybody is looking at you and thinking ill of you. Then he says, I don't mind actually, because I did not saw any beautiful eyes in this world other than this woman. Then Ramanuja says, actually, if I can show you better eyes than this, can you give up her? So he says, sure, but I am sure that there cannot be anything more beautiful than this. Then Ramanuja says, okay, you come tomorrow, to Ranganathji's Arati. So, as he requested Ramanuja, then that Dhanurdas comes. So, Ramanuja intensely prays to Ranganathji that actually this person is so much stooped in the material sense gratification. Please reveal your beautiful transcendental eyes, lotus eyes. So it's not that actually that Dhanurdas never happened to went to darshan of the Ranganathji. He happened to see Ranganathji before also many times. But because this time Ramanuja prayed for Dhanurdas, so Lord Ranganath revealed his beautiful eyes to Dhanurdas. And as soon as Dhanurdas got the darshan of Lord Ranganathji, immediately fainted there only. And now he completely got transformed actually, and he forgot her. And afterwards he happened to get married to her only. And but became such a dedicated disciple of Ramanuja, actually, he surpassed even the brahmacharis also in his service to Ramanuja. So, in that way, that an acharya can reveal the beauty of Lord. So, so once somebody happened to really see Krishna, he will not be the same person. So we can see that Duryodhana has seen Krishna, Kamsa has seen Krishna, Dhritarashtra saw only Krishna, nothing else. Only Krishna. He got only once darshan, eyes he got, and he happened to see only Krishna, nothing else. Sometimes people say, once you show me God, I will give up everything. I will join full time. But Dhritarashtra happened to see only Krishna in his life, nothing else. That universal form he saw Krishna, but he didn't transform it. So that shows that actually seeing Krishna is not in our terms, actually. That Krishna has to reveal himself. Krishna revealed himself on the request of a pure devotee to us. That Rupa Goswami says actually that don't go to Keshi Ghat. If you go to Keshi Ghat, there is a boy who is standing there playing flute, and he sees sidelong glances. When his glance falls upon you, it will be very, very dangerous actually. You will forget everything of this world. And no, you will forget all your material relationships and friendship and love, everything actually. So it is very, very dangerous. So don't go to Keshi Ghat. He warns actually, in one sense. So that very wonderful sloka he says, Smeran bhangi traya parichitam sache vistirna drishti vamsinyasa adara kishalam ujvalam chandrakena govindakyam haritanamiha keshi tirtopakante ma preksha yadi tava sakhe bandhurange stirange. So he is warning actually, if Krishna's glance fall upon you, also sidelong glance at least, then it will be very, very dangerous. You will lose everything. So sometimes it is called negative publicity. Don't do this. Then people want to do more actually. So in that way, Rupa Goswami is giving some kind of negative publicity actually. Very dangerous. So I remember actually very, very beginning when I was working in Bangalore. At that time, I was about to go to Iskcon temple. So one of my colleague also told actually, hey, don't go. It is very, very dangerous place. you know, very dangerous place. They hypnotize people and no, they will convert. I told I am so intelligent, don't worry. Actually, I will not be trapped. They cannot trap me, I told him. So what he predicted is happened to true. So it is true actually. What Rupa Goswami is telling. So once His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is out of his humility is explaining actually. Once he was practicing Krishna consciousness and he was working in one company, and company bus picks up the employees from one place to another place and picks up on the way also some other people. And one of the guy, he saw Prabhuji and he is understood he is somewhat Hare Krishna spiritual and everything. So he asked him just one question: what you do? Means what spiritual practices you do. Then whenever devotees get a preaching opportunity, they become fired up and no. Then Prabhuji told actually, I explained DYS, Sankalpa camp, Spurti camp, Utkarsh camp, all the topics, everything, in one by one, within 1 hour I complete all the concepts, And he was, completely blank, you are downpouring all the, data, and he was completely aghast, Afterwards, Prabhuji told, I congratulated myself, Shabash, you gave such a dose, he will become devotee. And afterwards, it over. And after many, many years, he became devotee also. But afterwards, he met Prabhuji and he told actually, after that, what happened? Whenever the bus used to come, first it picks up Prabhuji and next that that person. Whenever the bus used to come, I used to see from one of the entrance actually where you are sitting. If you are sitting at this place, I used to get in another place. You know, so it was completely, you know. So this is true actually. So what happens actually that a person who sees Krishna, he actually finds himself. Understand? In this world, everybody is lost in sense gratification. Everybody lost in sense gratification, and in that way, everybody, in the name of enjoying, actually, he is miserable. That many of the times we see many of our boys who come to college, they come to college and they are lost only. They are not lost means not in the physical sense. They are lost the purpose for which they have come. In that way, they are lost. So, in that way, their life becomes completely useless. So, in the same way, a person in this world is completely lost. We lost our great wealth. The great wealth is of Krishna consciousness, actually. We are lost. In that way, Jiva is wandering in the 84 lakh species because it lost its wealth. Hmm? It is like a rich person. He lost his wealth. Then what will happen? He will end up becoming a beggar. Understand? Similarly, a Jiva lost its wealth of no Krishna consciousness. In the next life, he may end up becoming a dog or pig or anything also. Understand? He has to live at the expense of, at the cost of some other people who throw some chapati or roti or something, right? So before previous life, he may be Karudpati also. Now because he lost his sense of discrimination and he made wrong investment. He made wrong investment of his consciousness, and because of that, everything became bankrupt. you know, and he ended up becoming a lower species, and he was living pathetic life. In that way, we can see actually in this world, people are completely lost actually. So, but seeing Krishna means actually reviving our relationship, and we are regaining ourselves. That's what is seeing Krishna. That's what generally what we do actually. People go and meet their parents, and what is happening actually. Meeting our parents means we are reconnecting with themselves. We are regaining our relationship. That's what occasionally going to them and going to our parent or grandparents. What does that mean actually? It is reconnecting ourselves. We are not meeting them. What does it mean? That we are getting disconnected. So going and meeting them and again means we are reconnecting ourselves, and we are maintaining our relationship, and we are remembering there is responsibility in our relationship also, and we will act according to the responsibility whatever we are having. Similarly, seeing Krishna means actually it is reconnecting ourselves with Krishna. We are reviving our relationship. So in that way, we find ourselves in seeing Krishna. So in this world, everybody is lost actually. That we hear that story about the thief Dagu Bhagat, and he heard about Krishna, and he became more interested in the wealth. What Krishna is wearing, the jewelry and everything. To plunder that wealth of Krishna, he goes to Vrindavan. But instead of he plundering Krishna, Krishna steals his heart. And he finds his wealth ultimately. His wealth is his love for Krishna. Hmm? So in that way, seeing Krishna means actually finding our lost wealth for Krishna. So he became a great devotee. Ultimately, he lost his propensity as a thief. That is what our artificial life actually. The real life is actually is a Jivera Swarup Krishna Nityadas, being a pure devotee, ecstatic devotee. He revived that as soon as he happened to see Krishna. So, in that way, when somebody comes in contact with absolute truth, he revives his real wealth. and we are thinking this so-called wealth of this world which will make us happy, but ultimately that makes us miserable. But at the cost of real wealth, you know, we are gaining, artificial wealth which is anyway going to be lost. Hmm? And we see that even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, here Prabhupada is mentioning about that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he happened to go into Jharkhand forest. When he went into Jharkhand forest, all the tigers, lions, deers, that bears, everybody got awakened to their real nature of Krishna consciousness, and they cast off their so-called apparent nature of these cruel animals, and they became so ecstatic. They are shedding tears and dancing, in great joy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu freely gave the wealth of Krishna consciousness actually to anybody and everybody. So that's what that Shastra says. Krishna prema vina vyarda daridra jivana. Dasa kore vetana diye paibe premadana. So what is the real wealth is that Krishna prem is the real wealth actually. Without that, life is daridra jivana. It is told actually it's a poverty stricken life. So in that way, we can see a person, who is understanding the absolute truth. Actually, he starts losing his self. That means losing the false identities of this world, and he is reinstated in his original identity. So, in finding Krishna, we lose ourself, our false self. In that way, sometimes we lose some of our people also, in our lives who are connected to us. Many times people say after becoming devotees, many people started, going away from us, So that also happened to happen actually. But the real people will stay. But the real people are going to stay. So in that way, as you come close to Krishna, actually, we start losing oneself, but still we are happy. So we can see that actually in the Bhagavatam also that a person who is coming in close to Krishna, that highest example is given about the gopis. And the gopis found the real wealth of their love for Krishna. And that Bhagavad Gita also says actually it is that wealth, after getting that, there is nothing further to be, attained. After attaining which, there is nothing further to be attained. That's what is ultimate thing. So in that way we can see that past time that, Narada Muni said to the gopis, Krishna is having headache. At that time, the gopis are ready to give the dust of their feet to Krishna. So at that time, Narada Muni said, actually, what is the consequence of giving dust? We know that we are going to hell. So then they told, actually, we don't mind going to hell for eternity if we can make Krishna happy for a moment. So this what we can see that actually they are happy with that situation of being in the hellish conditions and making Krishna happy. So this is finding the wealth actually, ultimate wealth. You can see in the lives of some of the devotees also actually that we hear that His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says in the last stage of his life actually, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj says actually, he is very deeply Krishna consciousness and he is finding some ecstatic symptoms, and he says that I don't want to exchange my situation, but his body is very, very pathetic situation, full of cancer cells and very, very excruciatingly painful. But he says, I don't want to exchange my situation with anybody in this world, anything of this world. And Maharaj gives about one more example about one Prabhupada disciple lady called Kunti Mataji actually. She also affected with the melanoma cancer. And many people are coming to her to console her. But actually after meeting her, they are finding even more joy in life. They are finding hope in her life. She is giving them hope. And that news spread and some television channels came and they made an interview. And some series of episodes came. How a person who is about to die, they are so happy. And she said actually now I am reading Prabhupada books. and every sentence of Prabhupada is making so much sense. And every sentence of Prabhupada, every word of Prabhupada is giving me so much joy in my life. So, in that way, actually, we can see that uh, the definition of the supreme absolute truth we can see in the lives of the devotees, that as you come more and more closer to Krishna, you will find yourself more and more properly. Uh, uh, we'll stop here. Thank you all very much for your patient hearing. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. అది ఒక పాత్ర ఉంటారు కదా.